Inside Story Uganda, real source of political updates. Inside Story Uganda.
Toka lwa Africa. Nidadala okugatoka lwa Africa, Western world wabazungusa okuba bakiza omuntu yalina okuba nti agatta Africa eberemu. Tola bano omuntu yageza kuba nti akikola yali Muammar Gaddafi yatwalaganyizibwa. So embereno bana Museveni anasokuba nti tukiza ekyoto kineno.
Yose kyembagamba nti bwe mubanga mutwala abantu mu regional bodies like the East African community. Muleme kulowooza nti is an extension of the civil service.
Kadem.
If you are taking a people to regional bodies, don't expect that this is another DC job. Teoli bw'amala okuba Museveni n'amuteeka corporation n'amuwa RDC. Ayine yakuba abantu n'amuwa RDC. Bajja munoonya bamubetente omutwe. Bo bano be yakuba bawadde ki. Kakati Bosoma international relations, the interaction of states and non-state actors in the international arena. How do you see abazungu bajibala? By the time we woke up, ensi abazungu bajikola ki? Bajibala. Nti nkugaye nti Biden yakoze statement mutagitegera. We cannot use past solution to solve current solutions. To occupy countries. The mission we went, Ben Laden was killed. The Taliban government was removed. Why do we keep people, our soldiers dying there? Even if the Russians take over, Baba Kubirayo. What do they want? What do these people want in Afghanistan? Beba kuletea Cold War. Ngugana. Waliwo Byzantine Empire, never. Roman Empire, never. The British Empire, never. Katuchita American hegemony. Why? Abasajja badesigning ensi yaabwe. These are desires. Who broke up with the East African Federation? Were they British? Were they Americans? It was a disagreement. Nyerere could not sit with the Idi Amin. Era when you read the collapse of the East African community, Nyerere, Charles Njonjo, who is still around, was attorney general, hosted a party for the collapse
of the community.
Yes. Nti Kenyatta, a universal man, Nyerere, a celebrated intellectual, can sit with Idi Amin. President Museveni was the Minister of Regional Cooperation when we were sharing assets. He mentioned it in his book that I remember attending only one meeting when they were sharing what. So, kakati ECOWAS ekoze sadaka ekoze nene sadaka na yetu sekisera ndi why is Rwanda is fighting isolation. When you are talking about constructing roads in the Congo, Rwanda knows Eastern Congo is its plantation. When you talk about bypassing Rwanda and going to Burundi, you construct a road to Burundi, it knows what has it done. The collapse of their airline, the Rwandese have now stepped up. They are using their military might. They are in Central African
Republic. Yeah.
When the Pope visited Central Africa, he visited the mosque. Now, when the Pope appointed the cardinals, they appointed the cardinal in Rwanda. Because the French have suffered humiliating defeats in Marine Walala. French regional ones, the French are running away. These modern weapons, helicopters, tanks cannot fight a brave Al-Qaeda man. Ayagala kufa, yaja kufa. Kakati the French are quoting Rwanda. Rwanda is now the French superpower, the Francophone superpower.
Okay.
Olwamaiti yayo nabaga nti any country which cannot sacrifice its children for overseas development. Ojirabi, nti as you want to isolate it, it is expanding. Eri Mozambique.
Italiso
ina egindi jeri dafu bayina population y'abantu bameka
abanyarwanda
kakati bali batula ne babala bayina think tank etali yamu yababbi erozo okubbira mu covid ebbira mu kiramite yonna nti ne mu biseera nga with the cattle keepers in power eddiba lyente teriyina balyo ennyama nebagiteeka mu faludon ennyanja lwebaginyaga ne batwala empuuta. This cannot be a state. This cannot be from a policy from the Politburo. Kakati nkubulira negamba nti ECOWAS ECOMOGO naye ebadde ekola lwa Nigeria. When we form regional and continental bodies tulina bye tutunuulira. One, there must be a dominant factor. Yes, Nigeria was a dominant factor.
Okay.
All of the commanders were from okutereeza Liberia bamuyitanga General Woman. Bamugye e Liberia ne bamutwala, Abacha n'amutwala, asentensinga bano n'afa n'ennyumba ye baagikuba. Nigeria had the oil resources. Nigeria had the best trained generals. Nigeria has the size and might. Mu Africa ensi bbiri zokka ezina embassies everywhere, Kenya and Nigeria.
Here we come East Africa, twagala kuba nti Uganda eyagala okuba nti ebeera.
Kati nkubuulira nti mu ECOMOGO mulimu dominant force. Mu SADC, South Africa would be dominant, naye was liberated. Mugagga muto. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Ate two, South Africa bagikubira wa mu Central African Republic. Gundi Abacha yagamba Mandela ti you are leading a bazungu country with an African head, with a black head. South Africa bwesindika amagye mubeera mu abazungu. What's the role of, because it is a what? A musoke gundi. Chimusoke bachita batya mu Lungereza. Rainbow. Kakati when you send white South African, these are blacks. No diamajika South Africa gali mu abazungu. Tukatwala musindi baka kupandika dukayo. Ba South Africa ne badukayo. In spite of their might. Kakati alina okutegeera nti mu SADC era Rwanda yeze.
Okay.
It is only Rwanda that is ready to sacrifice it. Zimbabwe eri mu problem zayo. Zambia eri mu problem zayo. They don't have financial resources for money. By Islamists, Rwanda yebakubye.
Okay.
Era by Islamists, Rwanda yebakubye wa mu Central African
Republic here.
Kakati alina ekitegeera. Do we have a dominant factor in East Africa?
Wewa, katukomera ku nsonga eyo.
Do we have a dominant factor in East Africa?
Tibozo. Dominant factor in East Africa. Yani.
Nti omuntu yenna eyasoma international relations akubuulira nti organizations zino ziyinamu okubeera. European Union started by two countries, France and Germany. Why? The United States feared the spread of communism in Western Europe. So the dominant factor was who? Two, they put up benchmarks. You have to be democratic to join this elite group of countries. It took Portugal many years, I think, and Spain to join the European Union because of their democratic credentials.
Okay.
Two, when you are forming a federation, the issue of sovereignty, because a federation means that these existing states, one, have realized that they cannot exist economically and politically as
individually.
They must accept.
Yes.
Two, they must surrender some of their authority, sovereign powers to create a central government, which we call a federal government.
A federal government.
There cannot be a federal government in Mengo. Was there a federal government in Kampala? If we had a federal at that time, you must surrender some of your sovereignty powers to create a central government after realizing that you cannot exist as individuals.
Yes, yes.
So surrendering of sovereignty, what if today the East African Court of Appeal nullifies Uganda's election? Can we accept? Have we surrendered our legislative powers to Arusha? Is there a federal government in Arusha? Oh, these are experimental. This is why you people think nti katutwaleyo buli omwa nawulira omwami mugwana gwange bamuyita Kisembo nimugagwe balage CV
omukulu kutogerako dini Kisembo omwami oyo
balage CV naye bana bagenda okuwogana. Waliwo omuvubuka yawandikira Museveni mu butabo 10 mu kalulu ka 2011 omwana oyo kiggala talaba but he wrote books for Museveni. Era nze nali mbagamba ndi muntu ali mu State House representing eki the disabled. Very high mugenda mulaba nali yaji mugundi. Allocate him to NRM secretariat. Is very brainy. Tayogera naye musajja mugezi nnyo oyo omwana mugezi nnyo. Yawandi mubuze hajati mukwaye. Omwana yamugulako he was next to me. Nze nasinga obaguza obutabu. Naye banziba. Ne kuruno banziba. Ne baga nti bwe mwase ajokujo balenzi mujja wange mbakube
boyogede ku mukulu ku Dr. D boyogede ku Dr. D Kisembo. Dr. D Kisembo Emmanuel obuzine tamega dogera ko yomukulu no yedda executive director wa Munyo Kitara Youth Initiative eranga musajja munyoro musajja musawo yava navuganya ko ku Dr. yava navuganya ku Matayo Chali Gonzo
when you go you
ne NRM abantu nga banene basula
mubuza aba anti nkugambye nti badda mu lobbying. Let me tell you the importance of regional bodies. Former President of Tanzania, Joseph Mkapa, was in foreign affairs. Yali Press Secretary wa Nyerere namutwala mu foreign affairs. This man you see in Ethiopia, yava New York. Yali mu diplomacy. Ono wetangula atawanya gundi. Yava mu foreign affairs. Kalonzo Musyoka, yali High Commissioner wa Kenya in the 70s in Britain. Ne mumwina yana. Noga nti omusajja founding father wa East African Community amanya museka arotinga. Nogamba nti yasooka okubeera speaker arotinga. You give us, have these people been deployed in the foreign affairs? All of these people you have taken there. Bafunye emirimu luddawa. Yes. Kubanga mwe mulowooza nti bwala DC we can gang up kati obate wafuna wano gwene kutwala mwatwalayo bwenzi bwammwe. Bwenzi bw'abakazi bawano bwe batwalayo. Okukakananga speaker bwabwe bamwijjidde ku bwenzi balwanyeyo kulwanira abasajja. Why? Somewhere in fact mwali badde nga bemututte mu East African Community. Compare those with others abava Rwanda abava luddawa. Kakati nkugamba nti for you just accept. Kongo eyingidde n'ebizibu byayo. South Sudan eyingira n'ebizibu byayo. Ono n'ayingira n'ebizibu bye. But in the European Union, a dominant force. But what is our political science? Even consensus is dominant. Consensus is dominant. The commander of NATO forces must be an American general. The standard weapon of NATO must be an American weapon. By the time Nigerian had the resources, was replaced by Chad. Chadian atirale nga yekuba bano bakola haram. Nigeria agwa. At one time Goodluck wanted to hire mercenaries from South Africa. How can you hire mercenaries from South Africa? Mercenaries, retired soldiers to fight bakola haram when the Nigerian army is watching. At one time Obasanjo yagamba Abamerica babaga nti abana bamwe babakutte tufe tuyingirewo bakomando. Obasanjo olwokwagala eggwanga lyagamba nti kati dignity yaffe tunaba tugijeewo. Yes. Kakati nkubuulira nti mu East Africa gave me a dominant factor.
Uganda is spearheading.
Anti kankubuulize Uganda nga abantu 15
yamulaze nti baba ekitwala mu maaso.
Abantu 15 including 62 surgeons bali mu Serena kati babasomera misango gya kutta abantu mu malwaliro. 2 ekyokubiri nti mmwe abamane sente za COVID mumubane sente za COVID
nati fetu jimwe
anti nkubuulidde lyonolesi anti tukubuuza nti obusajja bukulu bwo buli luddawo tukulembere. Kenya is economically giant. Tanzania moves cautiously because Tanzania bwe mala okuwulira nti mu Uganda mwevikitinga n'abantu bamwe ne mubakuba mu kutwala ebibanja byabwe. Tanzania can allow you to be part of you. Nga Tanzania yeyina ettaka ddene kwegamba mu bunduguleyo population mubasuulira abantu. Nti Tanzania the strategist emirundi of Tanzania netulaba nga abantu bamwe emigo ne mubagobanga tembasasudde nabasasula. You have a problem of land. Can we join you? Every East African man is a citizen of ne Tanzania mugende mutwaleyo emize gyammwe emibi. Nabagamba nti nagende president yagenda Juba. Nembaga nti bagenda kubattirayo. Why? Temuyina kyemutoteyo kiri technical. Mugenze kubbayo. Kakati you want a dominant factor. There must be a dominant factor. two, there must be a military union. Chimwalisookeddeko okukola
amagye agawamu
kakati mu ekizibu kyammwe kyemulina the Kenyan army is professional. Bo bamanyi nti amme kamanda abadde wa air force kati ajjako wa marines or navy ajjako waki mu Kenya when you were a soldier and you remain at one rank for 3 years you go amagye tegakwagala kakati that it must be followed up by a military union. The European Union is NATO.
okay.
You must be economic structures. Kakande betugenda olwalero, why did we get a road deal? Mu East African commenting at the type of people we sent there. Are we going to respect the Gamba? You see, we must build the East Africa among the people. Yes, but this is not a dream. We no ganti Kenya nemugitwalya kasoli nemugoba nga mufumu mu byekoledde. Kenya ujjo yakwata golodi nga golodi mufu bakkirize mu mukolagane nabo mwababalevu mu kyoto. These are issues that Museveni wants yes, but he does not have a backup. Tabategezezza batambula nabo tabategezezza nti kino kisoboka nti abaYurope bwe bakoze eddagala lyabwe baliremedde. Why? Temulina technology bakubya abachina ne babajjawo mmwe n'eddagala lyammwe lye mukoze mulirwanira mufenero ayagala sente ate Museveni n'amuwaana. Why do you call over keys of a car instead of driving a patient to hospital? Why do you fight over ownership of rights if this medicine is effective? Mufenero ate Museveni n'amuwaana. A person who is charged with helping people not to die. You see her fighting the rights. A cent. These people are misallocated. Tewali agenda kukolagana namwe mu East Africa.
Tamale ebigambo byo kabisoma nti president ekintu kyagoba.
Tajja kifuna mu his lifetime. Let him, Museveni has good ideas. Abategeeza n'abagamba nti what if we had a standing army of East Africa who would invade us? Naye bali abasajja ensi gye twagala okuluka ensi gye kati Kenya polifas Kenya kati batudde kyobula nti Uhuru gundi Uhuru Kenyatta ali mu dilemma. Why? Abantu bonna bayagala bamusikire bakolaganako ne Raila n'abayisa bubi ate nga yeegwa akutte ye Uhuru Kenyatta alowooza nti ejja kweyambisa bwa pulezidenti bwe tuliko nsayo ajjewo obukyayo wakati wa famire ye neya Raila Odinga. Jaramogi yali agenda okufuuka pulezidenti wa pulemisa wa Kenya n'agaana nti bamale kuta Kenyatta yamusasula bubi kati ono akoze ensobi. Uhuru alowooza tiagenda kweyambisa nti ajja kusitula abakikuyu abakwasaani baganye baki kubanga Raila Odinga Kenyan politics adipendinga ku kingpins bamuganye bamusoka bamuganye bawitangula bamuganye oli mukamba ono muluya baganye bati bagenda kumuwage n'abakikuyu bamuduseeko. Why? Is peddling something unpopular. Kakati ate ne Ruto naye tajja kufuga gwanga. Why? Buli Ruto gwakolaganye naye tawangaala naye. Mu Kenya bw'oba oyagala okufuga eggwanga you must be a humble man. He was humiliated nakkiriza ono yalwaniddewo ne mukama we. They don't understand him ava mu family enjavu. They cannot entrust their wealth to him.
Okay.
Yes. Kakati omusajja nganze who can entrust me with the power. Kwa buli mwaga ntategeereke buli akoze naye agandi Mirundi tategeereke Mirundi tayina friends Mirundi tayina
tumaliriza
naye mbadde njagala kusomera South Sudan ekuzizza emyaka emeka
emyaka giri 10
nabagamba nawandika akatabo kange kano nti how akazu politics akazu how akazu politics ruins countries akazu kategeeza nga akali wano tebamaze okuba abantu bonna bone bagaa nti bebaliwo bebaana b'omukazi ow'empeta they will kill each other. That's why the battle is with them. The battle is inside the palace, not outside the palace. Nti bo bamanyi nti bano Bobi Wine bani bonna Besigye babagulagula dda. Kakati nze factor yange ate ndeetamu kuyamba abantu butakyawa Museveni. Te Museveni yakutte sente n'azibawo ne bazibba ni azibba. nze nyamba Museveni aleme kumufuula nti bwavaawo ensi ekola ki. Museveni bwavaawo ate mubawaasi kuba bibana babanyigiriza okubba buli wantu wonna byabaleetedde temubategeera. Yes, that's my role. Naye nga naye talina kyampa. Kakati nkugamba nti Museveni bwe yagenda e Southern Sudan twagendayo mu 2006. Twagendayo mu 2006. Uganda neraga amaanyi mangi nnyo. Uganda yalaga amaanyi mangi nnyo. Twagenda ne canopy of helicopters. Twagenda naki ne Museveni abagamba wano. Advice on the recovery program. Unity. Underlining the importance of togetherness, President Yoweri Museveni pointed out that divisions break systems. Yayogera mu parliament ya Southern Sudan mu 2006 nga tebanneefuga. N'abagamba unity cements them, the systems. Division, however, he cautioned, makes it easy for the enemy to succeed. He appealed to the SPLA leaders to agree and be united on the broad minimum program. He advised for the identification of the engine, in inverted commas, of the recovery program, which must include pacification and rehabilitation of war-torn Southern Sudan areas. In Uganda, the government, Museveni reported, in Uganda, the government identified the recovery engine in the social infrastructure sector. It then, Museveni was explaining, considerably committed resources to rehabilitate and build roads as well as providing security for stability. The stability in Uganda, Museveni said, has been due to the disciplinary army. Stressing the importance of discipline in the army, President Museveni cited a Chinyankole saying of a young man, who's the father and the kite. Museveni said that the father slaughtered a cow and asked the boy to deliver the meat home. On the way, the kite snatched the meat from the boy. When he reported the incident, the father understood, but he advised the young man to always fix such meat to the edge of a sharp spear, which could scare away kites. I quote Museveni, I now advise you that if you want to protect your meat from the kite, their independence from Sudan, you must have a well-trained and professional army. The advice was received with thunderous applause from the Southern MPs. On the economy, the president pointed out macroeconomic dictates that inflation must be limited to a single digit. He advised for the same approach to the SPLM government. This done, be sure of a robust economy in the shortest period possible. A prudent economy, Museveni said, must be characterized by discipline in a manner government handles public expenditure. It mustn't spend what it doesn't have. To maintain a prudent public expenditure regime, all expenditures must be backed by availability of funds. Agamba ba Sudan, ayogera mu parliament ya Southern Sudan, wano webiri. Bana basuma bati. Kakati ne gamba, speech by Salva Kiir. Critical time. In his remarks, Southern Sudan President and Vice President of the Unity Central Government of Sudan, His Excellency Salva Kiir said he was deeply gratified by President Museveni's visit. It has come at a critical time when some elements are trying to undermine the peace which the Sudanese people achieved at a high cost. I quote Salva Kiir, I'm not surprised that you were the first head of state of an independent country to visit us. This is because of your ardent support to the people of Southern Sudan, said the Kiir. Adding that, I quote him, because Uganda helped the people of Southern Sudan to achieve peace, we will reciprocate by giving Uganda peace. He emphasized that the ongoing peace talks between government and the resistance army would be conducted with logical conclusion. Salva explained the president's visit that he had invited him, Salva Kiir had invited the president, that the two could share some ideas. Pointed out that the challenges faced by US government included the political transformation, setting up priorities and democratization, as well as building a professional army. He applauded Museveni's potential to overcome such challenges in Uganda. The Speaker of Parliament, Mr. John Ziyiga, described President Museveni as the best friend of the people of Southern Sudan, because Southern Sudan appreciates Uganda as a model. The government has encouraged a symbolic relationship in our two economies. I'm glad to report that half of the goods on our market come from Uganda, he said. Appealed to the Ugandan government to assist Sudan with the teachers to train our people. Our experience as refugees in Uganda is that Uganda's education standards are the best in the region. We are not going to end out with people from Europe. We can get this education in Uganda. Babasaba basomesa mwatwalayo batunda muwogo.
Tegena kubanga tusuka.
Naye ate okimanyi na politics nga Sudan egenda kubeera mu civil war. Mukatabuka. I predicted that they will have a civil war. Nabagamba nti the Sudanese government ye Khartoum is mindful of a referendum in 6 years to determine the decision of Southern Sudan. To counter the separatist forces, government has provided millions of dollars to senior commanders and provided them with post limousines. Therefore, to these officers, the referendum will not be for political destiny of the people of Southern Sudan. It will be between cutting off the supply line of dollars from Khartoum.
Sigala kubanga suka wao ngenda kuba mberekereza.
Bashiri yali mugezi. Bashiri yategeera a successful Southern Sudan will create agitation for more independent states. The failure of Southern Sudan has helped the government in Khartoum nti abeddafa bakyayagala okwefuga. Gwolowooza singa NRM yakola Luweero n'afuuka bulungi ennyo, buli kitundu kyali agadde okulwana. Naye olw'okuba Luweero matongo tewali kiriyo. Which area is offering to offer rebels platform to fight